Hi, and today I'll be discussing my first Codeforces problems. So the name of this problem is called slime. It is a D problem, but contrary to what it says on here, I don't think it really matches the hardness of typical D problems. You just need to have some sort of insight in order to solve this problem. So to start off, let's just check out many of the basic parts of a Codeforces problem. Of course, over here you have the description. Make sure to read it. If you don't understand it, try to read it twice. And basically that kind of will help you get some key points of this description that you might miss the first time you read it. There's also two important parts of a Codeforces problem, the input and the output. And the input is actually very critical. They give you these bounds for a purpose. If you look at those bounds, this bound kind of gives you an approximation of how much how fast your algorithm should be. So for instance, n over here goes up to 5 times 10 to the 5th. And just as a general side note, if you're running like those faster languages like C++ or Java, generally what you want to aim your program to go towards is something around less than 10 to the 8th, O of 10 to the 8th. So in this case, what this means is that since it goes up to 5 times 10 to the 5th, we can do an O of n log n solution, and we can also do a O of n solution. An O of n squared solution would be too costly, and it would definitely time out under this sort of circumstance. And usually you want your program to be around this range or less, but if you do actually get your program to be about O of 10 to the 8th, you should try to make your constant factor really small. And what that means is that every operation you do within these 10 to the 8th operations, every operation of this should be a really small operation. It shouldn't be like a huge addition of, let's say, 20 digits, because that would add another 10 factor to your 10 to the 8th, and that would not be good. So try to keep it around this level or below. So now we know that these are basically our only possibilities to run this program. Next thing you should consider is, okay, so we know that the inputs are also, the numbers we get is around negative 10 to the 9th to the 10 to the 9th. And for this one, we'll probably store it into maybe, let's say, a long integer. That should suffice. The output, okay? It only wants the maximum possible value of the last line. And basically, yeah, that's kind of the point of the output. It's what you want to print out. Okay, so let's read this problem, okay? So there are n slimes in a row. Each slime has an integer value, either negative or 0, associated with it. Any slime can eat its adjacent slime, the closest slime to the left or its right, assuming the slime exists. When a slime with a value x eats a slime with value y, the eaten slime disappears, and the value of the remaining slime changes to x minus y. The slimes will eat each other until there is only one slime left. Find the maximum possible value of the last slime.